Hello guys, to another video. This is gonna be a review of Transalp after 16,000 plus kilometers. I bought this bike last August and it's almost a year now. I had lots of kilometers behind me in a different situations like city, like highway, twisties, and let's see what we have to say. But I'm not gonna be the only one who's gonna talk about this. I have my guest today, which is from my right side, Aurelia.
Hello guys.
And we used to ride some tours together, so he's gonna be saying from his perspective of being a pilion rider. So let's start this review. First of all, don't mind my clothing. I am not riding today, nor is Aurelia. We just came here to record this video. I am 182 centimeters tall, and Aurelia?
I'm 185.
Oh my god, you're a tall guy, man.
Yeah.
So this is how we sit. Personally, like for me, this is a very nice, comfortable position. What I did with the handlebars, I only rotate them a little bit upwards to actually have a little bit more comfort when I'm standing on the bike. The wrists are not having any kind of pressure on them because most of my weight is on my butt. So, Aurelia, how does it feel over there?
It's really comfortable here, even though it's stock seat. And we both said that we're very tall, so we actually have a lot of space. So it's really spacious.
Yeah, also between us, I would say.
Yeah, there's like 10, 15, 20 centimeters between us, so
yeah,
that's a good thing.
From my side, also the seat is not the most comfortable in the world, but I would say like 1 hour and 30 minutes, I'm totally comfortable to ride because, like I said previously, my weight is fully on the butt over here. It's normal to start feeling some discomfort, but for the stock seat, I really like it very much. Now, on the suspension side of things, I would say after 16,000 kilometers, this suspension is doing really a good job. There is also external reservoir over there in the rear shock, so it's soaking bumps really nice. For our weight, like when I'm riding alone, it's fine that I leave it in number 3 out of 7 for preload settings. When I'm riding with Aurelia behind, with his weight, what's your weight?
75, something
75.
like that.
So with equipment, you might go to 80 probably.
Maybe.
And I'm 80, so maybe 85 total. Us two, we need to, tighten the preload up to 6 or even 7. But I rode with him with 6 out of 7, and it was fine. So I would say there is leftovers if we need to attach some more weight on the bike. 2 up, totally comfortable, nice experience, and the suspension is soaking the bumps really well. How did you feel over there with the suspension?
It's really good because, again, I have space here and I can really adapt very quickly. And I really don't feel those road bumps or road hazards, such as like potholes or something, but he's trying to avoid them. Thank you.
I'm trying, but sometimes it doesn't work.
Sometimes it's impossible.
Because we're in Serbia, right?
Yeah.
On the other side, we have brakes. The brakes and the nose dive over here, it's present like with most of the adventure bikes, but nothing too special. So if I grab the front brake, the bike, drops front, but it's not to some extent that I feel like the bike is wobbly or feels too much, under stress. Basically, the rebound returns the wheel to its proper position very fast, so it's only present under heavy braking. Otherwise, the rear one is also very good. The rear brake is doing great job. I don't need to press the pedal so much for it to start working. It's basically activating very soon. What I recognized as a ex-sport touring and naked bike rider is that this brake over here is positioned slightly higher. So at the beginning of my riding era with this bike, I needed to adjust to that my foot is positioned a little bit more upwards, so I'm not like here, I'm basically more up. So my muscles needed to get some proper training. It started hurting at the beginning. Now, how did you feel under braking?
Well, we had one incident once, remember?
Yes.
He tried like going enduro style and going through corners and everything, and then he just pressed the brake and I went flying towards him No, it was actually something like that. He was speeding up,
Yes.
and then like it wasn't even hard squeeze. I don't know what happened, but I just pressed the brake, and I just went flying. I wasn't expecting that at all. I mean, I have like higher seat, so maybe that's like one disadvantage of me being taller
Yes.
here.
But because usually, you know, these adventure bikes have these longer suspensions, it's normal that the bike does this. If it was shorter and if the suspension was more stiff, the riding experience wouldn't be so much comfortable. So it's a trade-off you accept. And of course, these bikes are not gonna handle some aggressive riding as some other bikes like, you know, super sports or nakeds. The torque and acceleration. Now this is interesting one. This bike is not like some other bikes in the class. So it has nice balance of having nice torque, so nice down low pull, but also after 5,000-6,000 RPMs, it changes the sound and it acts more like a four-cylinder bike, which, you know, tends to have the maximum power output. So what I want to say is, in some cases, if I ride in higher gears, like I put it 4th, 5th, I feel like, you know, I'm underpowered if I'm cruising. So I need to like downshift. So it's not like I said, some other bikes, like for example, MT-07 or the CP2 in general, Tenere, tends to have this instant pull, and later on it has less power than this thing. So this is like nicely spread, let's say, in between. And because of this, also if you put it in 6th gear, 6th gear is mostly for cruising, mostly for the speeds 80 kilometers and up. If you put it in 6th and try to go lower than that, you'll feel like there is no enough torque for, you know, acceleration or something. How did you feel? You probably said, I mean, you mostly said some things about acceleration, but
Yeah, you can't feel pretty much torque unless you go high RPMs. But I remember once we were like overtaking someone or something like that, and you can literally hear click from the shifter.
yes,
So you know it's downshift, and also from the exhaust that he's just making some new sounds. I don't know.
yeah.
It's really distinguished.
Yes, it's really nice with this bike. It has some roar like a lion when you go 5,000-6,000 RPMs.
And then there's a great pull after that sound.
In terms of the handling itself, now this bike really amazed me from the day one with its handling. It's basically acting more like a naked bike than other adventure bikes. The weight is really nice setup down low, and because the bike is not too wide, when you want to shift from left to right, when you want to go some twisties, it feels very much alive. It feels like it drops very, very quickly, and it feels like it's stable in the corners. So, like, I didn't expect this when I tried this bike first time, and this is one of the most important reasons why I bought this bike, because I was expecting it to be wallowy. I was expecting it not to listen to me so much, but no, you need just a little bit of, you know, adjustment time to adjust to this setup of 21 front, 18 rear wheel, but it just really feels like home. Feels like you can do whatever you want with this bike, because like I said, the weight is not feeling like top heavy. The service intervals about this bike in Serbia, it says like 1,000, then 6,000, then 12,000, so every 6,000 kilometers basically. But every second 6,000 kilometers, if I can say like that, you are doing oil servicing, so changing oil and filters. So if I reach 6,000 kilometers after first 1,000, I'm not changing oil, only on the 12,000, and then again on the 24,000. Now most people are skeptical about this. I am as well, as old school rider. So far I'm sticking to this what Honda says, even though sometimes I'm thinking about this, you know, viscosity of the oil itself, but you know, I'm gonna trust Honda so far. I'm not sure what to do, to be honest. So in the end, this bike, if I calculate my costs for maintenance, it costs less than other bikes because of this longer service intervals for oil. Oof. Now, jerkiness on throttle. This is another thing that I noticed, especially present in high-powered modes. So if you put it in 4 out of 4 power in user mode, or if you put it in a sport mode, the bike feels like if you want to cruise around in the city or just, you know, keep the gas, and you want to give a small throttle inputs, it feels like, you know, on and off, on and off. And it's not really pleasant. To the point that I don't ride in this mode. I ride in standard mode. The standard mode is 3 out of 4, which basically means that now this small impulse that I give on a gas is not going to be immediate, and it's not going to have this large amount of jerkiness. It's going to be just a little bit present. Still present, but less. And if I want to give a most heavy acceleration, you know, to go hard on it, it will listen almost like a sport mode, just a little bit less, I would say. But for the most cases scenarios, you would not feel this difference. Now, Relia, did you feel any kind of jerkiness where we were riding?
Not that I remember. I mean,
That's good.
that was, I don't know if it was just your good riding or, but I mean, I really can't say that I experienced something, especially with this, how you say it?
The top case, right?
The top case, yes. This is a life changer right here.
Yes.
See, he's like riding, how you say, twisties, right?
Twisties, right?
I'm just sitting like this, comfortable, not even experiencing anything, just going
With the flow.
with the flow, yeah, looking around. So that's what all I can say about the jerkiness of the
Yeah, well,
gas.
because usually I was riding with my wife, I was used to, you know, controlling this jerkiness and the 2 cylinders nature with the clutch. So that's how I'm, you know, minimizing this effect. Tire condition after all of these kilometers. Well, as you can see, the front one, really we can get off now if you would prefer. So the front one is holding pretty well. There is lots of left juice in it. I feel like this tire can go for much longer time, honestly. And also the rear one, if you look over here, the rear wheel also has lots of it left. Like my finger is sticking like up to this part. So I feel like this is 16,000 kilometers. I feel this thing can go like even 30 with my kind of riding, because I am not turbo aggressive, so I'm trying to, you know, be mindful about how I ride. But the roads in Serbia are slippery, so often you have this tire slipping on the roads. Now the accessories. Actually, before we go to the accessories, I wanted to say something about the whistling noise. Many people recognize there is some whistles in the bike, but this is actually coming from the stock tires. So these tires, stock ones, between around 105 to 115, 120 kilometers per hour, they whistle a little bit. So if you notice this is going to be just because of it. The accessories, as you can see from my previous video, which you can check, I will put the links in the description, the first review that I did. I didn't change much. I have the stock handguards from Honda over here, these white ones. I have this touring screen from the Honda as well, the big one. I have this extension for it. I put the SW Motec crash protection and also some nice auxiliary lights, which I always recommend because how they put lights on the road and they make us more visible. Also the side bags from AliExpress, just in case I need to carry something. The top case, as you could see before, and honestly, that's pretty much about it. I didn't want to touch the exhaust. I tried the other one, but I prefer this exhaust just because, for the reasons I told you, it can be really calm and it can really open the sound when it's needed. Now, another thing that I noticed that many people were complaining on the forums is with these handguards. This is actually also valid for XADVs, for Transalp and for Africa Twin, because this is the same ones. Because you have this black part and the white part, they are separate things. So when you attach these things together, they tend to have some gap over here beneath, and that means the wind that is coming through, it's creating another whistling noise. So how I manage this, I just loosen this thing up so it has more space in between, and now the wind flow can go freely through it and not create this stupid boring noise. I guess you didn't recognize nothing about it as a pilion, right?
Definitely not. Definitely not. I only thing I can say about this is again life changer, because as I mentioned before, I'm sitting much higher up, so the wind is going directly in my head over his. So this actually
Pushes it even
yeah,
higher.
pushes it away.
Yes,
It's
that's
going
correct.
upwards just above my head, so it's better. It's better.
Well, that's really nice. I didn't actually ask you before about your experience with the wind, so it's
Yeah,
helping
I
out.
mean, I expected to feel less because I'm behind you, but then when I sat on the bike, I realized that I'm like, what, 20 centimeters higher,
Higher, right?
or it feels
Yes,
like it.
that's correct.
And I had pretty good hit from the wind, but again, this I feel like it saved maybe a good part of it.
Big amount of
Yeah.
it, yeah. Now, other thing that is helping is this wind deflectors, the black ones, and also from the sides over here that push the air from the shoulders and also from the body. So overall, the wind protection on this bike, I'm really satisfied. Again, it justifies this saying that this is one bike to do it all, and I agree with this. Interesting topic that I had from the start of this bike, from the first day, let's say, the wheels came in a bit of bad condition, I would say, because both of them had some scratches. It felt like some chemical reaction was present on them, but Honda eventually accepted my reclamation, and they switched my wheels. So my rims got completely switched. Another thing is that after some time, because I'm also riding in winter conditions, I noticed some condensation in the TFT. So again, I filed this complaint and Honda accepted it. So they switched the TFT. Another thing, the third one is what I've noticed when I was putting these auxiliary lights on the bike and the crash protection. Beneath the tank, there is some kind of rust, but it's not present everywhere, only where these screws are attached. So this one and this one on the other side, the same ones, they have some rust around them. It's like Honda didn't put proper protection where the holes and the screw meet. It's not a deal breaker at all. Like also mechanics told me, it's not nice to see, but I guess it's fine. After a long time, I'm not expecting to have any issues with it, to be honest. So overall experience, still because of this bike, because the way it is 10 out of 10. Now, why I say 10 out of 10? Because I tried lots of bikes in my life. Sorry, the mosquitoes are biting me so much. I tried so many bikes, sport touring ones, naked ones, cruiser ones, adventure bikes. This bike can do it all, and it would be the hardest of any bike for me that I owned in my life to sell, honestly. Because when I had, for example, Yamaha MT-10, I was in love with that bike. It's really the bike that can do lots of things. It doesn't have like a crazy amount of wind protection, but for what it is, it's so fun bike. It gives you so much freedom to wrestle around, to move it, to go twisties, go highway, wherever you want. But it consumed lots of gas. And for this reason, after sitting in a handler, in a dealer, and thinking like, should I sell it? Talking with my wife, crying on the phone, I found this reason like consumption, and I sold it. MT-07, for example, I consider also to be a very great bike because it's much more reasonable than MT-10. It consumes much less gas, but for the highways, for the two-up, I felt like, okay, I need something different. Also, my ears are starting to be maybe older. I start to get this kind of whistling, or how do you call it, tinnitus or something. Sometimes I hear something, so I said, I need some more protection. So the best out of everything came to this bike because it has 90 something horsepower, 755 cc's. It's lightweight, 208 kilos. It can do basically anything: cross-continent touring, light touring, two-up, solo, twisties, city. It can do everything, and for these reasons mentioned, I consider it to be really probably one bike to rule them all, like one bike to do it everything. How do you feel like from your experience? Because you're a future rider, you did some research as well.
Well, my research was on MT-07, that he rode before this one as well. He rode me, and it was really not comfortable like this. It was, we were closer together, and my knees were very high, which is for me definitely a deal breaker. Here, that's not a case at all. I have the most comfortable seating positions that I imagined that I could have possibly have on bike. Even though I sat only on like 2 or 3 bikes, those previous bikes, they were not as comfortable as this one. So this is definitely the thing that I would go to as a passenger, of course. As a rider, probably. I don't know yet. I haven't ridden it, but overall, I'm really satisfied with this bike. That's all I can say,
Great
honestly.
to hear that. So we are on the same page. As a conclusion, I would say one short story that when I was traveling, once I had one tour and I went on the highway. So on a highway, this bike was like going 5,000 RPMs, which is half of its range, 140 kilometers per hour. So basically it's around 4.5 RPMs on 130 kilometers per hour, which is highway speed, normal, regular one, which means very pleasant ride. The sixth gear makes it really pleasant, comfortable ride, and it cruises and consumes a very low amount of gas. Then when I reach some, tolls, I need to pay the tolls. I stand over there. It's not, moving me left, right. It's very simple. It's very controlled bike. When I want to accelerate from the toll, it pulls like a rocket. When I want to exit the highway, on the exit, it goes, leans down very nicely. I go some twisties. It's listening to me. It's very fun. Then I enter the city. It's going through filtering. It does everything I'm expecting it to do. If there is some potholes, no problem. If there is something that I need to avoid, maybe climb on some obstacle, it climbs. When I need to park it, it's easy to move around. So, like I said, very beautiful bike to live with. I'm in love with it. Just what I'm gonna do next is put the center stand and put the comfort seat from Honda, which is not expensive, to be honest, around 140 something euros, and call it a day. So I believe this is the bike that you can get old with. And that's my pure conclusion. So Aurelia, what would you say as a conclusion over here?
I mean, I already said the most important things.
Yes.
This is the best bike that you probably can buy for that amount of money, and
Yeah.
depends on your riding style.
Use
I mean,
case.
we're pretty the same on that
Yes.
topic, so we're gonna enjoy like off-roading maybe sometimes just going out of city. But in the city, it's really how you say it. It moves freely. It's not stuck behind,
Yeah,
so you can move freely. Definitely, even though it's big, maybe bigger than I would have ever ride, but I guess it's just nice bike.
Yeah, and also I didn't complete my tour. It was also catching some off-road, and this thing also told me that I can explore more places with more comfort, and encourages also to go some gravel roads, some light off-road, and it completes the whole story. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.